Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's webinar. My name is Shay Dolan. I'm the Curriculum Manager for ESOL at Colindale campus at Barnet and Southgate College. Also joining me is my colleague Helen Brown, who is the Curriculum Manager for Wood Street for ESOL. And we're here this evening to give you information about our ESOL courses at Barnet and Southgate College. If you have any questions during the presentation, which I'm going to go through, if you have any questions, you can put them in the Q&A, and Helen will get back to you later after my presentation with answers. So any questions, please type them in the Q&A. So first of all, I want to let you know what you can study if you come to Barnet and Southgate College to study ESOL. We have levels starting from pre-entry to level 2. And we also have ESOL courses which you can do together with other courses. So if you want to train in health and social care, you can study ESOL with health and social care. This is very good for people who want to go into care for elderly people, disabled people, but also working with children, and also ESOL with childcare courses we offer. At our Wood Street campus, we offer ESOL with science, and at our Southgate campus, we offer ESOL with electrical installation. At Colindale, where I'm based, we have ESOL courses with construction and plumbing. We have a large construction department at Colindale campus with workshops where you can train in plumbing and other construction skills. We also offer courses for 16 to 18-year-olds on all of our campuses. So that's Colindale, Wood Street, and Southgate. Sorry, not all of our campuses, I should say, not Edmonton Green, but the other 3 campuses. For our adult students who are doing ESOL, we also offer additional extra classes in maths and computers or digital skills. So those are things that you can do in addition to your ESOL course if you're doing an ESOL part-time adult course. We also offer courses on CV writing, so to help you with writing your CV, to help you if you're applying for jobs and getting ready for interviews. And just to go back to the levels that I mentioned at the beginning, those levels pre-entry to level 2 are for adult part-time groups. So we offer part-time courses at all levels. The other courses I've mentioned, and those are usually 6 hours per week. The other courses I mentioned, for example, ESOL with health and social care, childcare, these are what we would call full-time courses. So these are usually at least 13 hours per week. And the ESOL for 16 to 18-year-old courses are usually at least 15 hours per week. So moving on to the young ESOL for 16 to 18s, what do they learn? So our teenagers learn ESOL, that's English. That takes up a lot of hours on their course. So they're spending a lot of time learning English, improving their English. Maths and digital skills. Digital skills means helping students with using technology. So it could be using the internet, could be going online safely, and so on. Employability is all about work. So students learn about how to, the kind of skills, qualities they need in work, but also learning about different types of job and the kind of skills and the process of applying, going for job interviews, etc. Welfare is about keep our students keeping well, keeping safe, looking after themselves. So on that part of the course, they will learn about how to look after themselves. So healthy living, advice on staying safe online again, and relationships. Um, Enrichment means many different things. So this is activities that students do outside their regular English and maths and IT classes. So for example, at Wood Street, students have the chance to study science and also art. We also have trips to various places. So for example, trips to places like the Houses of Parliament, uh, museums in central London, but also local places, so for example, town halls where students can go and learn about local democracy. We also have other organizations and professionals who come in to visit the college and speak to our students. So for example, people coming to give students advice about the changes that they may go through, students going from the age, once they're 18, getting support as they progress in their lives. Also at higher levels, so for entry 3, level 1 and level 2, young ESOL students have the chance to do work experience, and that is 2 weeks of working outside college in different environments. It could be in an office, could be in a shop, and students get help applying for those work experience placements. And going back to the adult classes that I mentioned earlier on. So if you're interested in doing an adult ESOL part-time class, we have classes in the mornings. These are usually between 9:30 and 11:30 a.m., but also afternoons, usually 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. We know that many of our students are parents or carers who need to collect children from school and drop off in the morning. So the times of those classes mean that you are able to do that. We make sure it's fitting in with the needs of our students. Many people, of course, will be working during the day. So we have classes in the evening from 6:30 to 9 p.m. If that's better for you. And that would be usually 2 evenings per week. We have classes both in college, face-to-face. Most of our classes are now in college, but at every level we do have, or most levels, we have classes online for those students who prefer to study online. For exams, the exams that you will do if you do an ESOL course with us are Ascentis ESOL exams. And there are 3 main exams: speaking and listening, reading, and writing. And the year is divided into 3 terms, and in each term you will do 1 exam. So for example, this term, the autumn term, many of our students are doing the speaking and listening exam. And then many students will do the reading exam between January and March. And writing is usually done in the last term. Students who are doing maths or ICT classes will do a functional skills exam. But also we have a new qualification called digital skills, which I mentioned earlier. This is for students working at entry 3 and level 1. And this is a new qualification that you will have the chance to do if you would like at those levels. For our entry 1, entry 2 groups, we are using ICT exams. If you are doing one of the courses, ESOL with childcare, health or social care, there is also a qualification for the vocational part of your course. That means the part of your course where you're training for the job. And so that is also, if you complete the course successfully, you'll get a certificate showing that you've got a qualification, and that will be the first step of your training in that area. We have 4 campuses, as I mentioned, so you can study ESOL here at Colindale campus, or Edmonton Green, or Southgate, or Wood Street. And you can see the postcodes of those campuses if you want to check exactly where they are and find out how you can travel to them to see which one is best for you. We also have a link there which you can see below, which I think will come up in your chat also, which will give you a link to maps or to locations and then directions to get to the different campuses. So just a few photos of Colindale campus where I am. You can see it's a very modern building. We've been in this building since 2016, and it's a beautiful building, very modern, very well equipped. And you can see that also we have different areas where you can train for certain jobs. So I've mentioned hairdressing and construction, and you can see there on the left, we have photo of one of the studio in the college where students do their hairdressing training and also have clients in who they work with. And you can also see the area at the front of the college where students can relax between lessons. Wood Street in High Barnet, also a modern campus, and you can see here, again, students relaxing. I'm sure they're all practicing their English as they sit around and have some snacks and drinks. And it's a great atmosphere, lively atmosphere up at Wood Street. So if that's close to you, then you can be part of that. Finally, at Southgate, we can see students doing different activities, lots of sports facilities at Southgate. So we can see people playing sport in the fourth photo. The first photo, if you're wondering what's happening there, that looks like a maths lesson. So students are using the tape to take measurements. And then again, we can see students relaxing, I think, in the second photo. And in the third photo, students in class studying. In terms of COVID-19, of course, that situation is continuing all around us in the country, in our communities. But in college, things are much closer back to normal than they were a year ago. The good news is that most classes are back in college, face-to-face. However, some students prefer to study online. And as I said, at most levels, we have classes available online. And if you do that, then you use the Microsoft Teams app, and your teachers will help you with signing into that app and using it for your lessons. We do have most classes in college face-to-face, but those students also will use the Microsoft Teams app for keeping in touch with their teachers. And some groups have a mixture. So they may have 2 days per week in college face-to-face and 1 day per week online. So there can be a mixture of those types of study. So it's really about what's best for you, what's most suitable for you. Advice: when you start your course, what should you do? Well, you should find a quiet place to study, do your homework. For some students, that can be difficult if you live in a busy house or a busy home. We do have a library on the second floor at Colindale campus, and each of our campuses, we have a library where students can come and study. So if you find that quiet space, you don't have that space at home, well, remember you can study in college outside lesson time. Second thing is keeping in touch. Communication is the reason why we do our courses. And so communication with your tutor is really important. So we do use email, college email, but the Microsoft Teams app is the #1 way that we keep in touch with each other. So when you do get on your course, make sure you have Teams on your phone so that you can keep in touch with your tutor, and we will help you with that, of course. There are other apps you can download. So Microsoft apps, Outlook for email, college email, and OneDrive, which is very useful if you want to keep your documents together and you can see the work that you've done in college. In a computer class, for example, you can see it from anywhere. You can look from your phone or from your computer at home. And also the OneNote app, that's the one we can see here, the purple icon. So OneNote is very useful tutors and students use it to share work and also to check work, so you can see your teacher's comments on work that you've done. What do we expect? What do we want our students to do? Well, the course is there to help you improve your English, of course, but also we want you to develop yourself, develop your skills and your abilities in many different ways. So it's not just about improving your English, it's about you becoming more confident and ready to go on to do different things, so new jobs, new training, and it's to help you prepare for that. We do want 100% attendance. Again, communication's really important here. Of course, sometimes there will be a reason you may have an appointment, something like that. Well, communication with your teacher is really important in that situation. But what we really want is 100% attendance. Arriving early, so 5 minutes before the start of your lesson. Doing the homework is super important. It's not just the time in class when you learn, the time outside class is just as important. Bring pens, books, a folder, so be organized. Make sure you're ready for every lesson. You've got what you need before the start of the lesson. We do wear ID badges. You can see I've got mine here. Staff and students, you must wear a badge at all times on campus. This is for everybody's security. And the college has a policy on behavior. We call this behaviors for excellence. So the three key parts of that: number one, respect. So staff and students, we show respect to each other and being ready to learn. So we've talked about coming on time, bringing your books, bringing your pens, etc., and staying safe in college. So your safety is really important to us. And that's something that your teacher, when you enroll, your tutor will talk to you about safety and safeguarding. Online, so yeah, we mentioned earlier that we use Teams, the Microsoft Teams app for lessons, but we also use many different platforms and websites for practicing English. So you can see we've got a little picture here. This on the left here, the question about firefighter. This is from Quizzes, which is a really useful app and website that we use for quizzes in class. And the other one on the right is from Kahoot, again, a very popular way of learning. So students take part in quizzes live in class using their mobile phones. It's lots of fun and it's a great way to learn. And we also have many, many websites that we recommend for you to use to improve your English. You can see just 4 examples here of websites which are really good for practicing your English. You can learn new grammar, vocabulary, and do listening practice as well on these websites. In terms of when your course finishes, what you do after ESOL, we know that ESOL is one step on your journey to what you want to do in future. So you may want to do a particular job or course in the future. So ESOL will help you towards that. When students finish studying ESOL, they go on to do many different things. Now, it may be that you reach entry 3 level with ESOL, but then you are ready to start doing a BTEC, for example, which is a course where you might be training to do plumbing, hairdressing, beauty, business, IT. So it all depends on the course, but that's one option for you when you finish studying ESOL at entry 3 or perhaps level 1, going on to do a BTEC. If you want to do GCSEs, those are the exams that students usually do age 16 in our schools, but GCSE is very important for certain jobs. So if you want to work in schools, if you want to be a teaching assistant, then you may need a GCSE. So that's something else that you can do after you've finished ESOL, usually ESOL level 2. The same for university. So many students will go on. Many of our young ESOL students actually go on to university after doing GCSEs. A-levels are the exams usually that our 18-year-olds in schools do before going to university. Again, this may be something you do depending on what kind of job you want to do or if you want to go to university. Finally, apprenticeships. This is where you do training and studying at the same time. So you may want to train to be a plumber. So you would have maybe working 3-4 days a week and coming to college 1 day a week to study, and you get paid while you're doing that. So that's an apprenticeship. So I hope you're interested and would like to join us. And so you're probably wondering, what do I need to do if I want to enroll for an ESOL course? Well, you can call the college on the telephone number that you can see here and ask for ESOL. You can also complete an online application form, and you can see the link here ending with ESOL. You can come into college if you prefer, if it's difficult for you to use a computer or your mobile to do this. You can come into college and fill in a form and we will then get back to you, get in touch with you. If you have more questions, you can email one of the managers. So it's Sharon at Southgate and Edmonton Green. It's Helen at Wood Street, and me, Shay, here at Colindale. I should also tell you that we will have another open day, open evening, face-to-face on Wednesday, the 17th of November. That will be from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. So you have a chance now to ask questions that Helen will answer. But if you do still want to come and speak to somebody, then you can certainly do that. Come in and see us on the 17th of November. I should add one more thing, which is about courses when our next courses are starting. So at the moment we have courses which are running already, but we will have new courses starting in January. So if you do make an application online or you fill in a paper form, we will be contacting you to come in for interview and do testing probably in December or January to get started on a course in January. But I'm going to stop there. I'm sure you have questions. And so I'm going to hand over to Helen, who will be able to answer those questions.
Hello, everyone. Hi, thank you, Shay. That was very detailed, and I think you actually answered most of the questions. So there's at least 3 or 4 people who are interested in online courses. And yes, we do have online courses. We have some courses that are online, that all the lessons are online, and some where you have 2 or maybe 1 lesson that is online. And you can choose these courses when you come in for an interview, or if you want an online interview, you can also request an online interview as well. So we will discuss this with you when we interview you and decide which level is best for you, and talk to you about the time of day that you want to study, and then also whether you want to come into college, you want to study online, or have a mix of face-to-face in college and online. As Shay said, we are almost, well, we are halfway through this current term, so we're not taking new students at the moment, but we will be taking new students for our courses that start at the beginning of January. So that's from the 6th of January onwards. And we will be interviewing new students either at the end of our term, this term in December, or on the 4th and 5th of January. So if you are interested, do apply online or come in and fill out an inquiry form, and we will send you a text and invite you in for interview. And I think that's all the types of questions we have. So it's really interesting to see how many people want an online course. So when you do contact us, let us know that you would like an online course, and we, as I said, we will talk to you about this when we assess what level and which course is best for you. Are there any more questions? Anything else we haven't answered? No? Okay. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us today. And thank you, Shay, for telling
Thank
us
you.
all about our courses. And we look forward to meeting you in January. So please do apply.
Thank you.
Thank you and goodbye.